Known as Illusion of, and I know I'm going to screw this up, Gaia in North America, this RPG from Nintendo is a solid little game. Always difficult to get right into the heart of it with these mini game reviews, but the general consensus is that this is a good RPG with plenty of puzzles and a good storyline, which is utterly bonkers at times by the looks of it. I certainly like the look and feel of it, and the story did hook me in for the short time I played it. When looking at understanding the game some more, it seems that the different characters you control, with Will being the main one, changing into a warrior, look pretty cool, and it makes me want to come back for more. It seems from a collector's standpoint there is a French variation of this game also, which would also be needed to complete the PAL set. Another platforming affair which is okay I guess. Quite like the graphics, main character is quite nicely done, and it's nice that it's a fairly simple to master game, although the orbs that warp you to the bonus levels are beyond annoying as you accidentally hit them sometimes when you try and kill the baddies. I quite like that having to have 3 of the feather things to fight the end boss, who represented a fair challenge on the few goes I had. No save points in this one, although a decent energy bar and lives make up for that a bit. It's all a bit meh, but it's not too bad. Greatest Adventures basically means playing the first 3 and only decent indie movies in a style that very much reminds me of the Super Star Wars series. Graphically excellent with nice controls, which also, like the Super Star Wars series, has a variation of gameplay throughout with boulder running, flying biplanes and so on. The music is great and really adds to the indie atmosphere. I really enjoyed this and will definitely come back to it, and I'm actually annoyed that I have never played this before. International Superstar Soccer and its later Deluxe variant are shown together here as they are very similar graphically, with the Deluxe version adding several developments to the latter, with better options like 2-player co-op against the CPU, better commentary, strategies and more polish in the animations and graphics. As far as a football game goes, it's actually pretty decent. Has a more arcade feel about it than the FIFA games, but not enough to detract from the fact that it's a serious footy game with tons of options, which even includes scenarios taken from famous games. I managed to jump straight in without even a glance at the instructions and enjoyed playing straight away. I even think it might have aged better than the FIFA offerings on the SNES and might be a contender for the best football game on the system.
One-on-one. He shoots. Great save.
Well, it's a tennis game and it seems to be international, so there's 2 ticks for it. It looks okay, quite cute graphics and nice digitised speech for the scoring, but I sucked at this though. The CPU did not miss or reply to any of my shots, with me only winning points on the occasional unforced error. I hate it when games seem rock hard from the get-go, but obviously if I'd have bought this wanting to play a tennis game back in the day, I would have persevered. I just feel there are better tennis games on the SNES. '96 mascot for the Atlanta Olympics gets their own game in another bad platformer. Yet again, no save points and not enough lives equals very little fun. Controls are messy, and I swear I saw some serious slowdown at times that made the game weird to play. 2 jump buttons made things even more confusing, and I won't be returning to this anytime soon. Early golf title up next that actually plays okay. Takes a while to draw in each of the shots and the ball size doesn't seem to differ based on distance, and the direction of the ball at the top of the screen doesn't make for accurate shots, especially on the green. But I played a couple of holes, parred one and birdied another without reading the instructions, so that says something. As golf games go, it's not that bad. Not having seen the cartoon, this is a new premise for me. A young James Bond, eh? Anyways, the platform bit I played was a bit shit, and the helicopter shmup level is a little less shit. And that's it really. It's another generic nonsense shelf filler that plays okay, it sounds terrible, and doesn't inspire me to go and seek out the cartoon. Next. It's time to break your SNES controller with this track and field underwater nonsense. My 50-year-old fingers did not enjoy this, and what makes it worse is that in order to continue, if you fail to qualify, you have to button mash to a certain point, which gets harder every life lost. No thanks, bastards. It all looks nice as the James Pond games do, bright, colourful, playful characters, but charm alone doesn't save this game. Maybe multiplayer is better, but I'll never know. Okay, it's not a game I would recommend. I mean, look at it, it's hardly setting the world alight, but the ability to change shape to complete certain puzzles is quite good fun, and the movement is not terrible. It's just another platformer, but at least it held my attention for longer than 5 minutes. There were some weird flicker issues when I died though, and even by 1994 standards, it does look a bit dated. Not bad though, but just not great either. This is one of the few games I actually owned. I enjoyed playing tennis quite a bit when I was younger, and this was probably a cheap pickup somewhere. It's actually pretty good in all honesty. I like that you only have to worry about your shots and not moving of the player, which when that is done badly can ruin a tennis game. The graphics are okay, good enough I guess, and the career tour part of the game is pretty cool as you try to get Jimmy to the top of the world. I hadn't revisited this game in years and found myself playing it for quite a while, which says a lot. Good stuff.
Game player 2. Oh.
Joe and Mac is a caveman platformer, which I'm sure we've seen before somewhere, but anyhow, I quite like this one as platformers go. If I had a friend to play co-op with, I reckon I would have super fun, but I enjoyed the cutesy graphics and smooth gameplay on my own nonetheless. Nice short levels with cool bosses and big dinosaurs. It passed the time quickly whilst playing. Can't ask for anything more than that. Pretty decent. Now, just to confuse everyone, Joe and Mac 2 Lost in the Tropics was called Joe and Mac 3 in the Power region, with Congo Capers considered the second game in the trilogy. Got it? Good. And this one is pretty much more of the same. More story driven than the first game and maybe slightly more polished, but not offering anything massively over the first. More of the same, which, as the first one is pretty decent, is fine by me. The only John Madden game to appear on the SNES Power region before being called simply Madden and then the year. And yeah, it's pretty good. Great sound and fairly smooth animation that resembles the FIFA frame rate at this point, and I've still found this fairly playable today. I understand the basics of American football but don't understand all the plays, but it's nicely laid out to give you all the info you need. Not bad at all.
First down.
Another action RPG, which is unfairly reviewed by me because I don't have hours to sink into it, but yeah, it didn't exactly grab me on the way in. I fought off some walls for a bit, which made me realise the attack is a bit shit, and then I was supposed to get matey I met to help me, but he wasn't following me around. This is an issue that carries on apparently, although if you had a multi-tap, you and 3 mates could play this together, which is pretty cool. The music is pretty solid and it looks okay, but reading reviews of it, I don't think I'll pursue. The visual style on this one is very, very good. Judge Dredd himself looks very nice indeed. The animation for jumps and all the other million things that you can do are very well done. I did spend a big chunk of time stuck on this first level though, as I had no clue what the ladders look like, and the gazillion different controls to shoot, crawl, kick, jump, etc. take a bit of getting used to. On the whole though, I was pleasantly surprised by this one. It looks really nice and plays pretty good too. A follow-up to Desert Strike, what's not to love, especially as you are straight in on the action defending the White House and government buildings. I just love these games. Yes, they are pretty tough. Yes, there are other games better graphically, but there is something about riding around in a chopper blowing up shit that really holds my attention, even still today. I spent hours on these games in the 90s and I still love them today. Well, not sure on this one. It's okay, I guess. It looks pretty great, plays okay, even has a Doom style FPS part when you enter buildings, which is pretty neat, but it's just so big and lacking a map. So you spend huge chunks of the game wandering around not really having a clue where you are going. Probably one to only play in emulation too, as there are no save points or passwords in this one. Yikes. And yes, the chaos continues into the sequel that has a 2-player co-op and level select, which is pretty cool. I had no clue what I was doing on the Raptor level I selected, but it played pretty well, and although just another side scroller, it was pretty good with the dinosaurs and weapons on offer. Just wish I knew what the hell I was supposed to do. YouTube might be my friend here. And finally for the J's we have Justice League Task Force. Quite a cool looking fighter with the Justice League crew, which might be good with 2 players, but my experience was just with the story mode, which was insanely hard to just pick up and button mash. I got my arse handed to me every time, which made me hate this very quickly. Might be a me problem, but I don't care. This sucked. So that's it for the I's and J's. Any of your favourites here? Please let me know in the comments. Ones I want to take forward to my final Best Pal game video thing I'll end up doing are Illusion of Time, Indiana Jones Greatest Adventures, International Superstar Soccer Deluxe, Jimmy Connor's Pro Tennis Tour, Joe and Mac Caveman Ninja, Judge Dredd, and Jungle Strike. Cheers everyone, and I'll see you on the next one.